Hi, this is Mike Bloom. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to organize modules within your course site. If you watched the previous video, you'll remember the examples of weekly modules from Drew Stelgis, Jordan Walk, and David Trischler. Each of them was individualized to suit the course, but they all shared two critical commonalities. Number one, the instructors clearly identified module goals. And number two, they all created clear pathways to reach those goals. So let's go ahead and build a course module. The first thing that we're going to need is a place to put the module. So I'm going to go up to the menu up here and hover over the little plus with the inside the circle, and I'm going to add a content area. And I'm going to call this module 1. And I'll make that available to users, and I'll click submit. And I can drag that wherever I'd like, and I'll drag it up to the top. And I'm going to ignore the topic 1 area here right now, and I'll go into module 1 and I'll start building. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add that week 1 objectives. And I'll go into build content and I'll create an item. And I'll title that, and I'll call that week 1 outline. And I can put in my whole outline here, and I'm just going to have some pre-existing text I'm going to paste in here. And I'm going to go over a little bit of this with you and what I've done here, just so that you get the idea. And let me stretch this out a little bit. And let's take a look at what I've done. So I say this week students will learn to build a well-constructed module in Blackboard. You will need two. So here I've identified what it is that the students are going to be able to accomplish this week. That they will be able to build a well-constructed module. And so now I've got 3 things here that they're going to do in order for them to accomplish this. First, they'll watch the introductory video that I've linked to here. Then they'll review the exemplar Blackboard sites, that site by Drew Stelgis, the site by David Trischler, and Jordan Walk's site, and I've got links to each of those there. And then create your own example module in your own Blackboard site and post the link in the assignments area below. So this is all very clear, and this is what I plan for the students to do this week. And I'll click submit. All right, so my next step in my organization is to actually add the link to the YouTube video below so that students can watch it. Now sure, they can click on that link here, and if you wanted to do that, you could certainly have them do that, but an easier way to do it is I'm going to go to build content, and I'm going to add a YouTube video. And now I'll search. And there it is. There's the Blackboard modules overview. I'll select that. And I can add a description if I like, but I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. I can have the view be thumbnail view, or have it actually embed the video, which I like to embed the video. I can show the YouTube URL if I like, and I can show YouTube information if I like, and I can attach files, whatever else I'd like to do. I don't have to do, but I'll hit submit. And now there's that video that's just embedded directly in my site. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to make links to each of these Blackboard sites down below. So I'm going to go to build content, and I will add a web link. And now I'll call this Drew Stelgis Blackboard site. And I'll paste it in there. And I can add some text if I want, or I can just hit submit, and I'll click submit. So now I've got Drew Stelgis's Blackboard site right there below, and students can click on that. I can do the same thing with David Trischler's. Now you may ask, why am I doing this to have links in 2 places? Well, first of all, you may not want to add the links in your week 1 outline. You may just want to outline everything, and then you want everybody to have to go through everything so that they can read more stuff. So if I had lots of content that went along with these, it would get very busy up here. The other thing is it's nice to have it in 2 places so I can just check and make sure that I've done everything after I go through all of my main concepts below. So let me go ahead and add the next one. I'll build content and I'll add the web link for David Trischler. And let's just speed things up a little bit so we don't have to sit here and watch me type. And so now let's see, I've got the introductory video, I've got the exemplars 1, 2, and 3, and now I have to create that assignment. I'll go up to Assessments and Assignment, and now I'll call this Assignment Week 1. And that's all I need. I'll just hit Submit and OK. Oops, I've got to give it a points possible, 100, Submit. And now I've got my outline and I've got everything that I've got for the week in that outline down below. I can do one last thing that's going to make everything easier, and that's have a numbering system. So if you notice, I've already got a numbering system here, 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and 3. Let me go ahead and change all of these so that they follow that numbering system. And not only that, but why don't I say Blackboard Modules Overview up on top? So I'm going to click on that and edit that as well. And consistency is going to be really important here. So I'm going to say Blackboard Modules Overview. And I'll click Submit. So now I have the same language, Blackboard Modules Overview, here as I do down below. And let me go down, and now I've got Drew Stelge's Blackboard site, and let me minimize this so that we can see all of them in a row there. So I've got Drew Stelge's Blackboard site. I'm going to edit that, and I'll call that 2.1. David Trischler, and I probably want to say Blackboard site there. And let's speed over this part too. And click Submit. And last one, Assignment Week 1. And I'll click on that, edit, and I'll call that 3. And Submit. So now we've got Week 1 outline, 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and 3, and we've got all of those mirrored below to make things very easy for students to figure out where they are and what they still need to do. And if you do something like this, you're bound to have fewer questions and your students are bound to do better because they're not going to have to worry about where things are, and it's going to be easier for everyone and everyone will have a much better experience.